A lot of people dream about escaping their old life and starting over somewhere cheaper, warmer, and more exciting. That was me. A few years ago, I packed up everything I owned, boarded a plane to the Philippines, and honestly believed I had found paradise. At the time, I was almost 60 years old, never married. No kids, no real social life back home in the UK. Most days felt the same. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. I had around $100,000 saved up. Not exactly millionaire money, but I convinced myself it would be enough to live comfortably overseas, until my pension kicked in years later. And according to everything I watched online, the Philippines was supposed to be cheap. Cheap apartments, cheap food, cheap nightlife, cheap everything. What nobody explained was how expensive bad decisions can become. The moment I landed in Manila, I felt alive again. The energy hit me instantly. The noise, the traffic, the lights, the people everywhere. It felt like I had stepped into a completely different world. That first night, I dropped my bags at the hotel and headed straight out to the nightlife district I'd spent years reading about online. And I'll be honest, it completely overwhelmed me. For the first time in decades. I felt noticed. Back home, I felt invisible. In the Philippines, suddenly people wanted to talk to me. Bars were packed with foreigners laughing, drinking, meeting girls, living carefree lives, and I got addicted to that feeling almost immediately. At first, I told myself it would only be temporary. Maybe 1 or 2 nights out a week, stick to a budget, be responsible. But within days, that plan completely disappeared. I started going out every single night. The bars became my entire routine. During the day, I'd sit around waiting for nighttime to come again. That's how obsessed I became with the lifestyle. And the strange thing is, while I knew I was spending too much money, I kept convincing myself I'd slow down eventually. Just enjoy yourself for now. That's what I kept telling myself. But eventually never came. I rented a small apartment in Manila thinking it would calm me down and make life feel more normal. Instead, it just gave me a base to continue partying from. The drinking got heavier, the spending got crazier, and then came the girls. At first, it felt exciting. I genuinely believed some of them actually cared about me. I started confusing attention with affection. Every time I met someone new, I convinced myself this one was different, this one was real, and every single time, I was wrong. Still, I kept chasing that feeling, because deep down, I didn't want to return to the lonely person I had been back home. That's the part people don't talk about enough. Sometimes it's not even about the country itself. It's about escaping who you used to be. Over time, the alcohol completely took over my life. I started drinking earlier every day. Lunch beers turned into afternoon beers. Afternoon beers turned into blackout nights. There were mornings where I woke up and genuinely had no idea where I was. One time, I woke up inside an abandoned building with concrete floors and trash everywhere around me. And instead of taking that as a warning sign, I laughed it off and went drinking again. That same night, that's how far gone I was mentally. After about a year, I moved to Angeles City because people told me it was cheaper and even crazier than Manila. That turned out to be the worst decision of all, because now I could party even harder for less money. The spiral got faster. I was drinking constantly, sleeping less, spending recklessly, meeting women who disappeared the moment money became involved. And somehow, I still kept telling myself I was living the dream. Until one morning, everything finally caught up with me. I checked my account balance, and it was gone. Every single dollar 2 years earlier, I had arrived believing I was starting a new life. Now I couldn't even afford a beer. I ended up calling my sister back home for help after spending time sleeping in the airport and wandering around Manila with nowhere to go. That was the lowest moment of my entire life, and the scary part, even after everything that happened, part of me still misses it, because addiction doesn't always feel terrible while you're inside it. Sometimes it feels amazing. That's why it's dangerous. People think losing money overseas happens because someone is stupid, but honestly, it usually happens slowly. One drink, one night out, one bad decision at a time, until suddenly your entire future is gone. I'm back home now trying to rebuild my life. No drinking, no nightlife, no pretending I had everything under control. And if there's one thing I'd tell anyone thinking about moving overseas with limited money, it's this. A cheap country can still destroy you if you don't have self-control, because the lifestyle that feels like freedom in the beginning can quietly become the thing that ruins you in the end.